In the heart of a bustling city where skyscrapers reached for the sky and the cacophony of honking horns and hurried footsteps echoed through the streets, lived a man named Jonah. He was a young professional, driven by ambition and the desire to excel in his career. Yet amidst the chaos of his daily life, he found himself drowning in a sea of thoughts that never seemed to quiet down. One evening, as Jonah sat in his cramped apartment, surrounded by the glow of screens and the hum of electronics, he realized that his mind felt like a crowded room. Worries about upcoming deadlines, regrets from the past, and anxieties about the future seemed to jostle for space in his head, leaving him feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. Seeking solace, Jonah remembered an old book he had once read about meditation and the concept of emptying the mind. Intrigued, he decided to give it a try, hoping it might bring some respite from the constant mental chatter. He cleared a small corner of his apartment, placing a cushion on the floor. Sitting down, he closed his eyes and took a deep breath, feeling the cool rush of air fill his lungs. As he exhaled, he imagined releasing the tension that had been building within him. With each breath, Jonah's focus shifted away from the noise of the city outside and toward the rhythm of his own breath. At first, it wasn't easy. Thoughts barged in like uninvited guests at a party, demanding his attention. But Jonah remembered the book's words: acknowledge the thoughts, then gently let them go. As he continued to breathe, Jonah visualized his thoughts as balloons, each carrying a different worry or distraction. With each exhalation, he imagined releasing these balloons into the open sky, watching them float away until they were mere specks on the horizon. Minutes turned into hours, and Jonah lost track of time. The noise in his mind began to quiet, replaced by a subtle stillness he hadn't experienced in a long time. It was as if he had entered a peaceful oasis amidst the chaos of his thoughts. Eventually, Jonah opened his eyes, feeling a newfound sense of calm washing over him. The city outside still buzzed with activity, but he had found a way to create his own haven of tranquility within. Over the next few weeks, Jonah continued his practice of emptying his mind through meditation. He noticed changes within himself that extended beyond his moments of meditation. He found it easier to focus at work. His interactions with colleagues became more present and genuine, and he began to experience a sense of clarity he hadn't felt before. One day, as Jonah walked through a park during his lunch break, a homeless man caught his attention. The man sat on a bench, his eyes distant, lost in his own world. Jonah's heart went out to him, and he remembered the lessons he had learned about emptying the mind. Approaching the man, Jonah introduced himself and struck up a conversation. As they talked, Jonah gently guided the man through a simple breathing exercise. He taught him to imagine his thoughts as leaves floating down a river, acknowledging each one before letting it drift away. To Jonah's surprise, a glimmer of peace appeared in the man's eyes. As they sat together, breathing and letting go, the noise of the city seemed to fade into the background. For a brief moment, they shared a connection, a shared stillness amidst the chaos. From that day on, Jonah dedicated himself not only to emptying his own mind, but also to helping others find moments of peace in their lives. He realized that amidst the noise of the world, there was a universal need for stillness, a sanctuary of the mind where one could find solace and clarity. And in teaching others to empty their minds, Jonah discovered a purpose that transcended his own ambitions, a purpose rooted in the simple yet profound act of being present, letting go, and finding the beauty of an empty mind.